Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Great Wizard Bukake, your host. Akkah has been given terms to avoid an invasion. Quinny left the peace talks to investigate the envoys. Moss became a willing hostage and made a friend in the enemy army. And Butthole gave a hell of a tour and started winning over their guests. But can they turn Akkah around in time to avoid it being destroyed? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Akkah is playing host both to a very important vote for a democratic name change,
yes,
but also to a number of envoys from a variety of nations. You've got the Lords Alliance visiting. You have an envoy from Vassar. You've got an army at your gates. And you've got some unresolved issues with Quinny murdering people.
It's fine. It feels resolved to me.
So, you've managed to navigate the initial tour with a double 20, which is still, I'm not over it.
Hey, look, for Moss got a double 1, someone's allowed to get a double 20.
Tyler's going to get double 10s, and none of us are going to care. But
I alternate. Remember, I roll a 1, and then the next roll, I get to reroll, and then it's ultimately a 20 almost every time for some reason. Yeah, because this D20 is just a coin that I flip.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you managed to navigate that. Before we kind of wrap up that sequence, Moss, you are currently being held friendly hostage with Finten. And the army of Cormyr, the Purple Dragons. You wanted to try and get a sense of what Cormyr is like. You rolled a nat 20 on your roll to kind of win over Finten, so I'm not going to make you roll again. I will give you 3 questions for Finten around what you want to know to determine what the nature of Cormyr is. And I will panic Google Cormyr if I don't have answers for you.
Ooh, okay. Knowing that Finten didn't want to talk about, didn't seem to want to talk about big scale, army and
you just got the sense
that's
all they talk about, so they were just kind of bored with it.
Okay.
You could ask them about it. It's not like they'll be like, how dare you? They'll just be like, I don't know.
I know, but
clearly a lot of people have been and are discussing horse armor.
If you want to know about horse armor, they'll fucking hook you up. That DLC is the word of the day.
We do, I think, have a stable.
I will ask Finten. We want to try some new things in Akkah, to make everyone happy. We want, general prosperity without any suffering. And we're looking for some models on how to do that. What's kind of how happy are people in Cormyr?
Finten just kind of considers this for a moment and says, we have we're in a period of rebuilding. In Cormyr, we were formerly a very prosperous nation, and we've been on the mend. But it is certainly felt. We actually have a series of codified laws that are posted at the entrance to all major entry points to Cormyr, which I am, of course, well acquainted with.
I would love to get those laws just to better understand you. I mean, maybe we could adopt the same laws. Who knows?
I think you will have some difficulty with some of them, but I will happily give them to you as your second question there.
Okay.
So first, all persons entering Cormyr must register with the officials of a border garrison. We want to make sure, after the unpleasantness we've had with some of our neighbors, that we know who's coming and going. Our second law is that foreign currency can only be used in certain locations, so please exchange your coins for Cormyrian golden lions at your first opportunity, which is one that you could adopt our currency if you want, but probably a little bit more difficult in Akkah to not have as many golden lions. But, if you so desire, fine. Adventurers must acquire a charter before undertaking any operations as a group. We're very protective about the purple dragons deal with most of the threats to our realm. So adventurers are very carefully licensed in our area.
Oh, so people just don't come in and go around and like stir up stuff and like
you would be astounded, or perhaps you wouldn't be if you've been around.
Explore where they're not supposed to.
And just start asking. Yes. They're like, do you need rats in your basement slain? Are there cults nearby? And it's like, no, we're busy trying to rebuild a nation here. Where's your quest board? And we're like, fuck off. That's where our quest board is. That sort of stuff. Number 4, all weapons must be peace bonded. The only persons exempt from this law are members of chartered adventuring groups, members of mercenary groups that can offer proof of employment. Otherwise, we can't just have weapons.
What is peace bonding?
Well, we want to make sure that they are people aren't just open carrying weapons. So weapons that are not viable.
I mean, like they can't be used?
I mean, like, yeah, you could like lock your sword in a scabbard. You could like, take the string off your bow. If you want to like carry it around, you don't want someone like stealing your shit, like totally fine.
Okay.
But we don't want people just walking around with stuff. So we would have to ensure that it has been locked in that the safety is on and not take offable by the individual. Harming cats is forbidden. That's number 5. That one's a pretty easy one, I think. You can take that one if you want. That one's pretty easy.
What about wolves, though?
We don't have any laws about wolves, only cats. Number 6, bow your head to royalty and the local nobility.
So royals are important. Okay.
Yes, manners. I think we can all agree with that. Number 7, the purple dragons have the right to search you upon request. And number 8, hunting on private land is forbidden.
Okay, that answers a lot of questions that I had already.
But yes, the people are doing well. We had some issues with Sembia, the Sembian and the Netherese forces both invaded us some time ago, and we had to beat them out of the Dale lands. Particularly Sembia was rather tough. We had to battle an invasion there, and then our borders were also invaded by the Nethril. So, and unfortunately, King Urvel Obiskar was killed during the siege of Suzail, one of our major cities. But his daughter, our current queen, Raedra, has been leading the way on helping us to rebuild. And luckily, we have the purple dragons and overswords like Primrose Everheart to protect us and keep us safe. You have one more question.
Interesting. Oh, I appreciate all this information.
Oh, you're most welcome. It's nice to just talk about things other than horse armor.
Oh, yeah. No, I can understand that. I'm sure you know more than you'll ever need to know about horse armor.
Literally anything other than its armor for horses is too much information about horse armor, to be quite frank.
Okay. And what happens if a person breaks one of these rules?
Well, the purple dragons intercede, and justice is meted out accordingly. If their transgression is minor, then they are dealt with in an appropriate way. If you are, for example, trying to adventure without a license, you are simply banned from the borders of Cormyr. However, trying to re-enter then after a ban is treated rather more severely. We are under threat from our neighbors fairly regularly, so and unfortunately of late, the Walking Dead. So we have become a bit harsher on second offenses, but really a lot of that rests with the Queen and the purple dragons. We put a lot of faith in our monarchy and both the purple dragons and our nation's war wizards. So if they have decided that someone is to be punished, we must abide by that. Unless it's cats, because cats cannot be harmed.
Punishment being jail, right?
In times where it's appropriate, yes. But if we've banned a group of adventurers and said, please don't ply your trade here, and then they show back up and are like, righto, we would like to level up a bit. Can you send us on some quests? Well, that could be met with arms. People...
Death.
I mean, maybe.
Sorry,
we don't have one law. It's not like, second strike, you're immediately executed.
I'm just trying to figure out how black and white things are and
nothing's black and white, dear. Everything's very complex.
That's good.
Unless you harm a cat, then we fucking kill you. That's very clear. Don't harm cats.
No. Oh no, of course not.
Just a dick move, really.
Okay, this has given me a lot to think about. You've been really helpful.
Well, you did roll a 20, so
Thank you.
I'm happy to oblige.
No, thank you. Do you want to just hang out for a bit?
That would be lovely. Do you like to play dice?
I haven't really had much opportunity lately, so
would you prefer to play an instrument or simply
Juniper
enjoy?
Kind of did all the instrument playing.
Was Juniper a friend of yours?
Yeah. Moss gets a little bit sad for a minute. She kind of misses Juniper. Yeah, let's play dice. Yeah.
Wonderful. And
I don't have any money on me.
And Finton laughs. So, I mean, your money would be no good to me when I return back to Cormier anyway.
Okay, so just for fun.
Play for fun.
Yeah, okay.
All right, roll d6.
3.
All right, I rolled a 1. Roll d6.
1.
I rolled a 1 as well. All right, roll d6.
1.
All right, so we're 2 for 2. Next roll wins it. Go ahead.
5.
I got a 4.
Yay!
So you win. You are successful at dicing. You win fucking nothing, but it's nice. You win some feeling good. I'll give you 1 point of advantage to be spent. I lied.
Nice.
You do win something because
cool.
You should win something. And it's just Moss. It's the first break you've had in a long time. Also, it's weird for you to just be Moss hanging out with people. Moss doesn't hang out with people. Other people hang out with people. So it's
Correct.
just a nice moment for you. Cool. After hanging out with Finton for a bit, the Oversword returns to her army, and they begin to sort of like pitch the tents and not like basically make camp outside the walls in a classic like army at your gates kind of way. But the business of camp begins improper. They start digging trenches. They start like for latrines. They start building tents. They're just kind of tucking in for foreseeable future. The threat of siege has not been lifted, but it is on pause. So back inside the walls. Quinny, you had wanted to try and get spy ops going, but it sounds like everything is kind of colluded to get everyone under one roof. So that can all happen. I would say the council is able to kind of reconvene. We're coming up on the vote, which will be happening this evening before sundown. But you have some time to catch up with each other and deal with any immediately pressing matters before the vote. Patty Two Eyes continues to just scream through the streets, and other people are passing the message along about like where to vote and how to vote. They're all like confused and think it's kind of quaint, but they're also just scared that if they disobey, they could die because,
that's the status quo.
For the sake of ongoing sanity, fart holes with the clerics, Reginald's still sorting out the army. It'll just be the central trio. Cool. Okay, so had a good tour. They're not killing us, which is great.
Okay.
Everybody seemed pretty reasonable. And they said we could join the Lord's Alliance and then have like a mutual defense pact with them. And Cormier would be cool with being our friend, but we got to do like 3 things before that.
For each of them, or?
No, 3 things total. Kind of a big thing. Cormier was just kind of like, yeah, that actually feels good for us too. So it kind of simplified it a little bit. So I guess 4. I'm tacking on a 4th that's for me. So we need to, and this is a me thing, I kind of made a unilateral call, Chief Justice. Sorry about this. We got to use the clerics and some Zone of Truths to go through the population and separate out anybody who did necromancy to like summon up zombies to serve the Leech Lord and my mom. And if we do, they're getting sent out to the foreign nations. We'll do like an even split amongst anybody who's interested to be tried for their crimes against the living.
I'm okay with that. That's pretty bad.
Cool. And then anybody who's in the army, they get like a blanket pardon. We're just going to let that ride. Necromancers, they should have run away if they were going to get ordered to do bad shit. The army, it's a hell world. We're going to deal with that in future. What we need, though, in addition to that, we need to sort out our laws. They want to review those. Mm-hmm. We need to sort out our kind of like arts and culture / quality of life. Like, what are we other than face paint and murder? They want to know.
It's not for us to decide. It's for the people to decide, right?
I don't think the people are going to decide on a timetable that sorts out fast enough for the people with Purple Dragon Army that are going to burn the town down. So we're going to have to make some unilateral, symbolic decisions.
Well, and I will say a show of culture would be good. So it's not that everyone has to necessarily subscribe to it, but like a show of something to say like this is.
There was that painting. Everyone was doing painting.
Yep, speed painting classes.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, that's what I mean. We can pick a couple of things, and then it can change over time. They just want a starting point for that. And then we need a neighbor to vouch for us. So I'm really hoping we can win over this Primrose, because I don't think anybody will be super thrilled if we have Felthane Vinton Charlemagne speaking for us, I don't think she's really going to vibe well with the Lord's Alliance. Because she's kind of intense.
Okay.
Who is your... Oh, your steward is Annan. She's not here yet.
Functionally, it's Patty.
Yeah, okay. So conveniently around this time, Patty, just exhausted from screaming about democracy, shows up and says, "Oh, well, hello again. Everyone's getting real excited to cast their votes for the names. People keep saying they would have really liked Ember City, but that's not on the ballot, so they can get fucked. In any case, there's someone at the east hole in the wall asking for a chance to speak to the king. They seem to be coming from a place called Zambia, which I know about because I live here. But they say they have urgent need for help from a neighbor. So, I don't know if that's of any use to you. We can have them killed if you want."
No, we're not going to kill people who come here, especially not if they're asking for help. We'll organize an audience with Zambia.
Okay, I should probably tell the people at the walls not to kill anyone who shows up asking for help anymore.
That would be super.
Because I know Cormier, they've had trouble with Zambia.
Yeah, but we're taking envoys from all the neighbors. So yes, Zambia can come on up.
Just to be aware.
Yep. Well, we're going to talk to both sides of all conflicts. Yep. Maybe we can help them become better friends with each other.
You want me to sneak him in under cover of darkness? And then she goes to wink at Quinny, and it's stuck between wanting to kind of be a spy but also not liking Quinny.
Yeah, no, I don't like.
It's just maybe little short pants over here can send me as a spy type person. I'm pretty good hiding under a cloak, as you remember.
Unless you guys think differently, I'm going to say no. Let's keep this all above board. They came
I'm
openly,
also going to
so
say
we'll,
no.
Yeah, let's not start with lying and deception.
Disappointing. All right.
And then we've got that other country that we need to get people for, Damara, what was it that they had issues with? Yeah, Damara. We got to send a bird to Damara to say, hey, we want to help you because we've heard about the conflict. We want to speak with you, not help you. We want to speak with you about the conflict between them. So try to get them to send somebody so we can talk to them about their conflict with our friends from the Warlock Knights. That's it? Yeah, Warlock Knights.
Yep.
I'm getting these terms down. They changed since I was a kid. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll talk to the Sembian delegate in a moment, bring them downstairs. We're not going to bring them up here. We're going to go down. We're going to make first floor is for general meetings. Second floor is where we'll put, important people. And then the closer they get to the top, the more important they are. Everybody's kind of neutral right now. Put the locals one floor above everybody from the Lord's Alliance because they're further away. That'll make everyone happy. We'll meet whoever this is, ground floor. Keep it chill. Quinny, did you find any secrets about anybody?
No, I haven't gotten a chance to yet. It's been me standing here, I'm trying to get into that unseen hand kind of business that your mom was kind of running. It's been go, go, go. I just haven't gotten into it yet.
Okay.
I got to go try and honeypot. Never mind. I can't tell you what I'm going to try and do.
Perfect.
Fuck, I keep forgetting. This is why I specifically said, hey, we can still talk, right?
Yeah, we can talk.
Yeah. No, we can't actually, though.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, I'm just pissed about it.
I want to say don't commit any crimes, but I don't know if you're committing any crimes, so do the right thing is all I'm going to say.
Do you want to make a snap prayer to yourself?
Yeah. Oh, you can tell me about this one. What's going on?
No, you know what? I'm making the call here. You don't want to hear about this one.
But I prayed to me, and I do.
I'm your spy master, and I have decided this is not information you should have at this time. I can tell you later.
Okay, so you're telling me I should trust you on this one?
Yes.
Okay, so then I need you to trust me on something. Because you went out and committed a shady murder, and I'd put Moss in charge of your soul. And that wasn't fair to Moss. That's not Moss's specialty, but I couldn't do it because we're too close, so it doesn't work either.
Okay. Can I be in charge of my soul?
I mean, you are, essentially, but you need some guidance because you're bad at this, and you go out and commit murders, and you lie and pretend to be in love with Reginald, and it's weird.
It is weird.
Okay.
No, yeah, I was going to fight you on that because, it's just my instinct to disagree with you, but no, it is weird.
Okay, so from this point forwards, once a week for 1 hour, you have to go talk to our new chief cleric, Farthole Farch, and confess your sins, and he'll be your spiritual advisor.
I would really rather not do that. I feel like a conversation with him where I confess any kind of of secrets or things that I've done wrong will be screamed extremely loudly by him in a sort of vaguely broken English and just manic kind of like everyone will know the Cole's notes of, because he just kind of repeats back at you what you say.
I don't know. He's been pretty helpful with people in the past. What I'm saying is you tell him it's a confession and then he knows that it's a lockbox. He's a cleric of me. He's not going to break my rules.
No, that makes sense, but there's a lot of nuance here.
See, I know you're trying to get out of having anybody in charge of your soul again.
Can I
tell.
talk to someone else? I will do an hour of confession with someone else.
Okay. Moss.
Yeah, all right.
Nope, we already established Moss can't do this. You're trying to trick me. See, I walked you through a loop, and I knew I'd get you.
What the what?
You committed a murder under Moss's spiritual leadership already. It was like day one.
I didn't know I was
commit a murder under Dr. Martha, and if you're around, I could change into her, and you can make sure I don't wolf out.
Butthole, can you roll an insight check?
29.
Jesus Christ. You can order... Given that I was going to call him Bubhole,
no, that's Bubhole.
I know. I caught myself. I'm learning a nomenclature. You can order Farthole to not reveal things, and he will have to abide by that. Like it's very like he has been in search of a god without a god's guidance, but now that he has a literal god who can like show up and tell him what to do, he can do that. So what I'm going to need is this is a battle, just a straight battle of souls here. Quinny versus Butthole. What are we going to roll for this? I think
religion.
I think it's probably wisdom versus intelligence.
My int versus his wisdom?
I think so.
Well, good game.
Nat 20.
Yeah, okay. 7 + 1.
All right, so I hear where you're coming from, and I'm going to be a king who listens to his counsel, which is something that I want to establish. So I'm going to talk to Farthole to make sure that when you do confession religiously, for that hour, he's not going to tell anybody your secrets, and he'll follow that. But I'm listening to you also, both of you, because also for 1 hour a week, you have to do therapy with Dr. Martha to help you become like a better parent and a more fulfilled man who doesn't feel like he has to go out and commit murders to deal with his feelings.
Yeah, I think we should just lay some ground rules. It won't be like a confession type thing. That's already
therapy.
happening.
There's religion and
this
therapy.
This is more like Dr. Martha can help you with any troubles in like a non-judgment zone.
Okay, Dr. Martha helps me. What the hell does Farthole do when I talk to him?
Farthole saves your soul. You tell Farthole your sins, and he absolves you of your sins, and he saves your soul. Dr. Martha will give you healthier coping techniques for your emotional problems and possible personality disorder.
Okay, so what about you?
What about me?
You killed your mom.
Yeah.
We're scheduling some Dr. Martha time there then?
I think you can get the fuck out.
All righty then.
End of meeting.
Great. Moss, you're not wading into that one?
Oh, damn it. Moss knows she has to say something because that wasn't right. So she's going to cast heroism on herself again.
I love this.
Butthole?
Yes.
Butthole.
What?
You killed your mom.
So?
And that really sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's healthy to just keep that all locked in. You literally just talked about how like repressed stuff just like comes out in unhealthy ways not too long ago.
First of all, I pray to myself, so I confess all the time. Second of all, Quinny was sad that somebody died, and he went out and murdered a random person. I was invading a nation to save the nation and ended up killing the monarch of it because it became morally and ethically necessary. These are not comparable experiences.
I'm not saying that what you did wasn't like the thing that had to be done, but I think that it's going to impact you in ways that you don't anticipate that could be harmful to you and the people around you. And I think it would be good if you just could talk about it openly with someone in a non-judgmental space.
Okay. The problem is I can't use Dr. Martha because there's a power imbalance between being a king and a god and being somebody else.
A king and a pauper are equal.
That is a beautiful thing to think theoretically. And in actuality, we really need to explore the power imbalance. When I get mad at Quinny and tell him to get the fuck out, even Quinny gets the fuck out.
Dr. Martha won't.
I'm Dr. Martha's boss. It's weird to try to do that. Also,
did you ever see the stage play of like Star Trek: The Next Generation?
For the sake of this conversation, no.
Well, see, there was like a Captain Picard, and that captain was able to give anyone orders.
Okay.
And they were on a ship.
Okay.
At
And
sea,
so-
to be clear.
Yeah,
It's called
a
Sea
ship
Trek.
at sea. What else?
Well, no, they use the stars to navigate.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
called
understand why that
Starboat.
needed clarification. Ship in the sky. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, what have we ever heard of
outrageous.
airships?
But here's the thing, is that like everyone on that ship, they all recognize that like even the captain could make mistakes, and even the captain could be, who knows, maybe taken over by something evil or whatever, or just be going through a hard time and needed to be like told, you need to relax. And so what they had a doctor on board, a Dr. Beverly.
Okay.
And Dr. Beverly was able, she like had all the authority to be able to tell the captain, it's like, no, what you're doing is not right, and you need to like take a break, and you need to like.
Was Dr. Beverly a therapist or a medical doctor?
A medical doctor, but
Okay.
mental health is health.
Was there a counselor on that ship?
There was a counselor on that ship.
Yeah, that was me asking. It just sounded different.
There was a counselor.
Did the
on
counselor
ship.
have the ability to tell the captain what orders to give and when he couldn't do his job?
Not explicitly, but the counselor could consult with the doctor, and the counselor could very strongly recommend stuff. And the counselor...
It sounds like right now you're strongly recommending something that I'm kind of saying no to.
Yeah, but in this case, I'm the counselor and I'm the doctor, so...
So that sounds like a conflict of interest. But here's the thing. I think we could find, if we could find a therapist who doesn't have a vested interest in their own stuff here, so there's no conflict of interest, because I am deciding the future of a nation, and the therapist lives in that nation and also is like a department head of a thing. We need to find a therapist who doesn't have a conflict of interest and who's coming from the outside of the kingdom. I'm aware this is not an easy thing. You'll have to consult with the spy master to find somebody who's not crooked or crazy or evil or whatever. But we should find a professional.
I feel like that's dangerous for people, someone from outside, to know about any potential weaknesses of the king of the nation. Because then they could just like sell that information to be used for someone else's advantage.
I agree.
That's why I think you need someone inside. Well, you need to talk about it with someone.
I talk about it with Goblin Jr.
Do you speak with animals when you talk about it with Goblin Jr.?
Sometimes.
Can you make sure that Goblin Jr. can be understood by you every time you talk with him about it?
You think I can't understand Goblin Jr.?
Snarf.
This is getting insulting now. He's my best friend. Him and Quinny.
Goblin Jr.
Do you also have Speak with Animals?
Yes.
I forget who has it.
And Verbal Cast Speak with Animals.
Sure.
Goblin Jr.
Yeah.
Does Butthole always interpret everything you say exactly as you mean it?
I mean, yeah, I was doing that before we could, we could talk too close. We have a pretty good understanding.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a
okay. So
pretty good relationship.
You're good to like talk with him and help him through how he killed his mother.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to talk about that. We've been traveling a long time. You've been talking about this for a long time, and I know that really bummed you out. But you haven't really taken a break for you. You haven't really put your feet up and had a cry or anything, and that seems weird for you because big guy, you love folks, and you're not really.
Listen, you're not wrong, but I can't really afford to take a couple of mental health days currently because we have an army outside threatening to burn the town down if I don't create a kingdom that has a future.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll curl up on your legs when you go to sleep next time. So we'll start there. And then, if you want to like talk to me about stuff. I can also just listen. I think that's an important part of this.
All right, I'm going to give him a special vest that says emotional support animal. So he'll be allowed any. No, I can't. That's too obvious in case there's someone spying.
I'll just know. It's all right. I go wherever I want anyway.
Yeah.
I got the armor. I'm the Wolf of Moonhammer.
I'll keep him with me
Snarf.
on an ongoing basis as an emotional support. And if I get to the point where I think I'm in a mental health crisis, then I will talk to a therapist.
Yeah. And look.
Or I will tell you need to talk to a therapist.
Or I will talk to you, and then we can talk to Butthole, or I'll talk to Annan, who probably has a good head on this, or I'll talk to Quinny's parents, who seem like they got a different angle on it. Look, Butthole, I think all we're saying, to snarf it all up here is that we got we all love you and we're worried about you, so we'll take care of you, and we appreciate you trying to take care of, the kingdom or whatever. Also, I'm voting for Asgard, just to be clear, while we're all chatting.
Thank you. So am I.
Yeah, snarf.
Yeah.
But no, we'll take care of you there, bud.
That's good. And if I have something that I want to talk about that I think is not super high stakes, but we want to keep it within the thing, but we want to make sure that somebody's balanced, and I feel like you've got enough stress on your plate currently, I can talk to Penny and Ford. They sort of feel like my parents too.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, nailed it.
So that's great. That's good. When am I getting my roving wolves?
Yeah, we're going to sort that out. Okay, so...
Oh, you telling me that's not a conflict of interest? Quinny's not here, but big conflict of interest. Therapist wants wolves, and the king can make that happen.
The support animal
To be
wants
fair,
wolves.
our other therapist is a wolf, so...
Dr. Martha is not a wolf.
She's part wolf. Okay,
Yeah.
let's all leave the... He's like, we have to go talk to the Symbian person. He steps out the hallway. Quinny!
What?
We have to go talk to the Symbian!
Ugh. Fine.
And it's just an elevator ride where we're all just standing there surly.
Yeah.
all the way down.
So you get down, and there is a just a Dom DeLuise looking motherfucker just fanning himself, wearing like a linen suit, in vaguely fantasy, like dress. So he's still got like cravat and everything under it, but fanning himself with his hat, and he's got an equally beleaguered looking pony with him.
A what? What were the things that just came out of your mouth? What did you
He's an equally beleaguered pony with him. Do you need to cast Speak with Tom?
Apparently I did not hear that. There was like something wrong with my brain. All I heard was random syllables.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
God. Holy
Great.
shit.
Can you raise your right arm all the way?
Yeah, can you put...
Yeah. He's not having a stroke.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, okay. So
How many fingers do you have?
he's got a
Prime Minister?
large riding dog. He's got a big riding dog, and
No,
he's,
okay, I understood what you said now, guys.
Don't you dare cut this.
No, this is spectacular. All right. So his equally beleaguered
Equally.
pony is also
Equally beleaguered homie. His
is also fanning
I
itself
heard-
with one hoof.
Oh my God.
And
What?
the pony's just
Like, is it like front, like
it's
going
not
backwards?
good, but yeah, it's just doing the best it can.
Like, because they can't lift their.
No, it's doing the best it can
So-
with the joints it has. It's
Okay.
just overly hot and is hilariously taking the same gestures as his rider.
Wow, somebody get this pony some water. Oh, man.
And the man says, I mean, I would be obliged if you would also get me some water.
Okay, both.
Well, isn't that delightful, Buttercup? And the pony just kind of like snuffles, seemingly more high status than the man. And he says, you'll have to excuse my intrusion. My name is Kieran Bashkara, and I am quite pleased to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. And he gets up and does like a tremendously regal bow, full rolling wrists. He does some good flourishes with his hat. And then he kind of slumps back down and he's like, I have ridden very quickly to arrive here, and those Desert's Mouth Mountains are a real son of a gun, so you'll have to excuse my slightly rumpled appearance and the exhaustion of my dear Buttercup here.
I forgive it all. Thanks for coming. What's going on?
Well, neighbor, sometimes people are known to go asking for cups of sugar, and I need a cup of adventurers, if you can believe it. We've got some true troubles over in Sambia, and it would be mighty kind of you if you would be able to offer a little bit of support. We are short on friends down around those parts these days with those Cormyrean sons of bitches really up in arms about the whole unpleasantness from a few years back. So we're looking for some assistance in an undead issue. And given that, as I am to understand it, the liches that took up residence here in your fine nation of Akkah were responsible for said dead, the fact that many linger in our fair nation is of quite concern to me and mine.
You speak very beautifully. I want to make sure I'm following exactly what's going on. You've got an issue with Cormyr, and you have still a lot of undead.
We have an awful lot of undead, and they are acting very strangely. I have been advised not to tell you much more than that by my Lord High Governor, Uskverin III, but in the meantime, if you could provide us with some water, I'd be happy to unfold my tragic tale for you.
Oh, yeah, let's get this guy some water. Patty, what water?
She just runs back and says, okay, just spreading the word about democracy, and here's some water for you. I washed the bottles and everything. She winks at you, Butthole. You're not sure if she washed the bottles. You want to snap prayer on that?
Yeah, why not?
You know what she uses.
She didn't wash the bottle. So Butthole's not going to drink any, but he's going to bank on the other guy not knowing.
Right.
He'll get chairs for everybody so we can all sit around a little table and
I
have a
assume
talk.
there's like a number of antechambers, all of which are, again, just like hardcore, like black metal,
creepy
like
Akkah
large
shit,
grated things. There's like still like, massive floor to ceiling portraits of tinglers around and other such things. And he drinks it. He's like, that is some refreshing water. Thank you. And Patty just like winks both of her eyes at you and scuttles out. And Kieran says, is everyone here or is it just
yeah, everybody. The group is here for this.
And he says, yes, well, you see, our fine nation deals in commerce more than most anything. We understand a good trade, and I have come to offer the trade of our friendship and good mercantile relations in exchange for your assistance mopping up your predecessor's mess in our fair nation, specifically Selgaunt, the crown jewel of Sembia, is beset by a rather strange undead menace, and we would very much appreciate your help getting it out. The mercenary silver ravens that we have hired have been a little less than helpful in this particular instance.
Okay, so these are undead that showed up with the general kind of shitty Akkah undead, and then they're just still puttering around.
Well, as I understand it, that Captain Plantier fellow, he managed to get rid of most of the undead, and it would seem that your deposing the liches here means they can't raise any more, and yet when most places, even within Sembia, mentioned that their zombies turned to ash and blew away, well, ours simply didn't. And a number of them still walk our streets to this day, doing all manner of strange things, taking in the sights, it would seem, going for strolls, promenades. And if we try and move any of them, they go completely bonkers, banana ape shit on us and just start murdering folks in the streets.
Well, that sounds like it didn't come from the liches we killed then. You've got a different lich problem.
All I can say is that we have a problem with the undead in Selgaunt, and I request your assistance. Whether it is a result of the actions of Akkah or some other lich, I don't think should change our bargain any.
I see. So you're here asking for our help.
Neighborly assistance, yes.
Neighborly assistance. In exchange for what, exactly?
Fine mercantile relationship with the only truly civilized nation in the area. We can provide trading routes and an excellent source of mercantile goods. Plus, Selgaunt is absolutely beautiful this time of year. Aside from the Walking Dead situation, it truly is a lovely little vacation spot. But we'll take good care of you, and we'll make sure that goods flow to and from Akkah. If after all, you want to reopen your marketplace, we want to re-enter into the former relationship we had, it would seem that neighborly relations would be appreciated.
Yes, you mentioned that there was a conflict between you and Cormyr. What was up with that?
And he just kind of like broadly gestures and says, just a simple border misunderstanding. Such things are very common in my part of the world. Can you roll me I'll roll for him, but I guess insight, and if any of the rest of you want to roll.
21.
Moss is just curious about how these undead look like Cormyr citizens or something bullshit like that. Insight?
Yep.
19.
The die came up one and then bounced one side over to 13. for a total of 13 insights.
Fair enough. Yeah.
13, 19, and 21. Yeah. That's
okay. Yeah. No, he is clearly underselling this, but not in a aggressive way, just in the way that any aggressor state tends to just soften the edges of its orders.
Now, I understand.
Sorry, just as a point of clarification, the way you phrase that to explain our understanding, do we know Sembia to be the aggressor state?
You don't necessarily.
Okay.
You know that Primrose Everheart framed it as Sembia like invading their borders and having to repel Sembia.
Okay.
So you have her word for it.
She said it was a crime, and the other guy said it's no big deal, which means like,
Okay. Just want to make sure that
you
wasn't
may draw
just...
your own conclusions, Tyler. But yes, you definitely get the sense that it is very likely that they are, based on what Cormier has told you.
All right, so I can tell you on short notice, we're going to be taking some clerics, and we're going to be doing a sweep of the city to locate all of the necromancers still within Akkah and have them sent for trial and stripped of powers, etc. If that doesn't solve your problem, then we'll start looking at the next stage of solution. I'm hoping this will just wipe that slate clean.
Wonderful.
And we can sort that out.
Well, as I said, we would be happy to vouch for you with our neighbors and with our other allies if you were to help us out in this particular instance.
Thank you very much. That's very good to know.
And Moss, you wanted to ask a question, I think, yeah?
No, Moss is just thinking it.
He like looks at you and sees you thinking, just like, uh-huh. Well then, I will leave you to your little purge of necromancers. Never much cared for raising the undead. Seems a rather grim business and bad for business. All right. May I take up some residence in one of your finest suites?
Yeah, we'll put him on the second floor with the locals. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep, and then we're going to go, full disclosure, there's also a representative from Cormier here.
Okay, we are saying that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie about this.
Am I going to hold that one in? Okay.
And pray tell, have they threatened you?
Let's just say it started off more tense than it is now. We've reached cordial relations. There were interesting questions about whether or not we were still a terrifying force requiring vengeance. And we're not. We killed those ones.
Listen, I don't want to overstep. I'm no diplomat, simply a man asking for some assistance for his home. But
then be careful.
All I can say is did this person show up alone, or did they bring their friends?
They showed up with an appropriate delegation to achieve their goals.
Well, that seems fine then. I guess I would just say anyone truly seeking friendship probably wouldn't show up with an army at your gates, but suppose that's just me, my way. But I trust you'll figure it all out.
Yep.
Seem like sensible folks, Mr. Farge.
Yep, and we will set you up with a great suite, and hopefully this necromancer purge solves everybody's problems.
And may I have your assurances that I will not be killed by any misguided Cormirian vengeance while I'm under your...
Oh, yeah, we got to make this clear.
halls.
Patty, I'm going to need you to take a note around to all the rooms to say that no violence will be permitted between any envoy of any nation and any other envoy of any nation.
I'm real good at de-escalation, so I'll be sure to go tell everybody to keep it calm.
Perfect. And make it clear that any act against another envoy will be treated as an act against me.
And we can place some guards on the second floor to
just make sure everybody feels great.
Prevent anything from getting out of hand if
we'll
something
do that
were to start. Yes.
You got it, Chief Justice and King. Just like glares at Quinny.
Run along, Penny Piss Pants.
Oh, dang, he got me good. And she, off she goes. She has no defense for that because you're also not entirely wrong. All right, so Kieran, tips his hat, finishes his water, and makes his way, folds up the napkin he had on his lap and puts it back in his chest pocket and makes his way to the guest rooms, commenting the whole way as one of the other palace staff takes him there. Just like the quality of everything is slightly below his standard as he goes. Now that he's no longer talking to you, there's a lot of like, those tables could definitely use a better wipe down, don't you think? And just like that, you kind of hear that amount of fussing out down the hall.
All right, so we're going to have to talk to the Cormyreans and find out what actually happened there, because he's clearly the problem.
This ain't my bag or anything like that, but do you think a condition of us aiding them and maybe aiding Cormyria or whatever could be like we mediate the border dispute?
Oh, listen, very possibly, but we got to find out what happened, and then, yes, any way we can make friends with everybody and help them make peace between each other, fuck yes, let's do that. So, Quinny, if you could find out what the fuck actually was going on.
Yeah,
with this.
I need a guy. I gotta have a guy.
Okay, well, who do you want?
Who's here? All my guys that I've been kind of promised are not here. They're all in
I know.
the fortress.
They're all over there. You could have Pitch. You could
roll an insight check for me, Ryan.
You could have Seraphina Bellwinter. 17.
You notice that there was the Professor Xavier lady with the envoys. The folks who came in from the Lord's Alliance might actually have some like useful magic shit if you want to kind of try and reopen. Like they did teleport through like across the nation in order to arrive at your door. If you wanted to try and reopen your lines of communication to the Forlorn Hope.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, we'll do that. I had a stupid idea of you using Seraphina Bellwinter. Take that back. Don't think that. We should go talk to the portal makers from the Lord's Alliance, because if we can get in touch with the Fortress of Forbidden for Forlorn
Hope, yep.
And if we can get the fucking gate working up in my bedroom, then we can start trading people back and forth and actually get the staff we need here. So I think we should do that next.
That sounds great.
So we're going to get them to open the portal. We're going to find out the name of this new country. Tomorrow we do the purge. And then I was also thinking, that's the sign of every good, not evil dictator, is to immediately purge the nation of the people who are the most dangerous according to you and not the previous regime. And we got to sort out the laws. But I have an idea for that, Moss, because I know you've been stressing about this.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that. But let's go talk to this elf lady about getting this gate open.
All right, so you make your way. You're already on the second floor of the castle, so it's easy enough to find. You find the envoy from the Misty Forest and High Forest, Fallenmeyer Pink Blossom, and you walk in. She's got a hand against the wall and like hand on her head, and Perkitus and the dwarf is also in there too. And he's like, yeah. So what does your elf mind see? And she's like touching the wall. She's like, well, my grim psychometry tells me that this is a place of great evil, great darkness. Many bad things have happened here. And he's like almost bouncing with excitement. He's like, yeah. Like what? She's like, oh, wars, many wars. And he's just like looking at her with like untapped wonder just at her
see
power.
Them doing this?
Yeah, this is what you walk into.
But also going to reach up and like knock on the door.
Yeah.
Like knock.
Oh, door's open.
Oh, yeah, but like knock on it anyways to get attention. He's not just going to walk into the room.
She goes, wait, I sense a presence. And then she turns and she says, yes, it was as I foretold. The king.
Boy.
Great. Are you the one who opened the portal that you guys all came through?
Yes, I am Fallenmeyer Pink Blossom of Misty Forest and High Forest. I am a mage of some renown. My powers are mysterious and, to some degree, unknowable. And yet, I have them well in hand. And, like, you see Carlson just, like, nodding. Like, she's real good.
Wonderful. I have a lot of respect for mystics and magicians. So I have a portal that I know is activated by this gem that he takes out of his tummy bag. It is like this gem. I can't quite get it to work, but I need to fire it up so I can get in contact with the people at my fortress that is elsewhere so I can bring them here. If we take you upstairs to look at the portal and you got the gem, do you think you can figure this out?
And she just walks over and runs a finger around the rim of her like tea mug. Says, yes, it is what the leaves told me would happen. So yeah, sure. Yeah, I can come with you upstairs. Sure. Yeah. Let's go. She puts the tea down.
Oh, man. Can I sit this one out? I'm getting angry.
Go find out about Cormier and Zambia.
All right.
Do you want to come with me, Monster, or do you want to do something else?
Yeah, Moss not wanting to have Butthole like alone with this person who's like familiar with portals. Fuck yeah. Yes, I'll come with you.
Okay. So we go upstairs.
Right. And yeah, she looks at Moss and she says, I sense you are a changeling.
Okay, yeah, even this is getting to Moss too. And it's like, how did you know?
The spell weave works in mysterious ways, young one. She's clearly like the same age as you,
Jesus
if not younger.
A changeling in their natural form. Yeah, fucking hell.
And she sweeps her. She every time she turns, it's the way Lee Pace does in The Hobbit. So it's just like a full extra half turn in order to move.
Leading with the head kind of thing?
Yeah, 100%. But like also not just like, not on a normal axis, like has to go out and around.
In a world without cameras, she's still turning to camera every time she goes around the corner.
Yeah. So she turns and sort of follows and says, I can sense great magic between both of you. Pray tell, what difficulties have you had with this Crys-tahl?
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not here.
I
The gem?
Yeah, we got the
Yes.
we got the gem from the liches. We knew it powered the gate. Then we killed the liches, and now we don't know how to kind of put A and B together.
A gate run by liches sounds dangerous, but I will keep you both safe. That is my promise on behalf of the Misty Forest and High Forest.
And we like, ding, we get to the top of Reginald, and they're like, hey guys, how are you doing? I was going to bed, but what the, hi? She's coming to help us with the gate. Oh, the gate that was linked with the Horde? Yeah, but we're not going to have a problem with it being linked to the Horde, right? He says to the elven lady.
Worry not, young one. I shall use my grim psychometry to determine if there is anything evil about it.
Oh, you've got grim psychometry too. Excellent.
Yes, totally I do. Can you roll me
My God.
a perception check from Reginald?
That's a 7.
It's all right. I rolled a 2. Is that 7 plus stuff or just?
That's a 7 because it's -1, my friend.
It's an 8 minus stuff.
Okay. Well, mine's plus stuff, so she buys. He buys it.
All right, we both got it. That's great.
Yes, truly. Always nice to meet another practitioner of the art. And she says, now you may watch a master work. And she just like sweeps past you into the room. So the
Reginald, because he rolled so fucking low, is going to take that as a legit invitation. Be like, I want to learn more about this shit. Okay, I haven't had a trainer in a while.
Amazing. So the portal gate is still there. It is, again, like a modified Raven gate that is that's been kind of hewn into the room. And she says, may I see the Crys-tahl, please?
Oh, yeah, here you go.
Wait, hang on.
Wait, what?
Moss is going to cast Zone of Truth.
She casts Counterspell.
Well, then fuck me.
Oh, yeah, it's second level, yeah.
Sorry, child.
Why don't you worried about... Are you lying to us? You're lying to us.
The deep powers that I control are such dangerous things that to be forced to speak of them is both incredibly rude and dangerous for you, children. And besides, would you really force an envoy to speak the truth? That does seem a bit of a breach of conduct, does it not?
Wait, were you trying to zone of truth somebody?
Well, I was just... Yeah, I was a little bit worried.
Yeah, we can't do that to envoys. That's like magically manipulating the minds of new allies of this place.
I'm sorry. This is new.
Do you want me a persuasion check?
21.
I rolled a 19 plus stuff, unfortunately. So she says, I shall not continue my art with this one here. It would seem that this changeling is most distrustful of those who seek to help.
Sorry, Moss, you're going to have to go. That's a legit request.
I just want to say, Moss is backing out. Just be aware, this gate can link to other gates. We don't know, with all due respect, your intentions, says to Pink Blossom.
I know what to do then. And Reginald will take a ring and put it on you. He'll be like, I'm going to put this other one on the king, and then you'll be fine. If it goes bad, he can trade spaces with you.
Okay. Is this Misty Step, like, it'll only transport you, like, the distance of a Misty Step?
30 feet.
I think it's within 30.
Okay, I'm just going to be just outside.
Yeah, it's not meant to be like you can go on vacation and be like, do you want to see the beaches of Italy?
Okay, well,
here you go.
Oh, well then, no, you got to go. All right, bye. He takes the ring back and he's like, well, they're not that great. Have a good walk.
Be careful as she closes the door.
I do not require a zone to speak truth. Now give me the Crys-tahl that I may examine your portal.
Okay, here's the Crys-tahl. I can't wait to see how this affects Grim psychometry.
So she walks up to the portal. Nat 20. She walks up and she says, this is strange magic indeed. This does not seem to be of our world. And yet my power is great. And she just starts tapping it against different parts of the portal. Like, behold. And she puts her hand up against her head. And then just, within a broken clock, right, twice a day way, she just says, open. And as she twists it, the portal shimmers, but it is flashing different spaces. She says, quick, you want to connect to a place you know. You must have something of great value or some connection to it. What do you have that we may stabilize the portal and connect it to your friends?
Butthole will swing off his vestments of House Farch, knowing that it's linked emotionally and spiritually with House Farch, which is the Fortress of Forlorn Hope to him. And he'll just hand them to her.
Great. And she says, by the powers of me, and throws the vest into the shimmering mess, and it trembles, and she reaches out and grabs your hand, Butthole. Do you prevent that?
He's just going to play along. This lady, if he's here, he bought it.
So she takes his hand and places it over the gem, and she just says, you must say it. What do you seek to find?
The Fortress of Forlorn Hope.
Cool.
Cool.
And with that, the image shimmers and kind of solidifies, and slowly but surely you see it start to sort of shift in form and warp. And I think it's just in the portrait that was over your bed in the royal chamber, just begins to like Mario 64 and up, starts to ripple. And the room sort of resolves, and you see all your birds just like hanging out. And then she kind of closes her eyes, and again, more by luck than anything else, twists the gem again, and the portal stabilizes. She says, behold, you're welcome.
You're so awesome.
Thank you. I am.
Okay, so if I twist this gem, I can shut the door, and I twist it again, it opens up, and it'll take us there?
Oh, you didn't say you wanted it to close. I'm not sure how long this will last, to be honest. Ta-ta. And she just turns and starts to swoop out. But yeah, you get a general sense of like the crystal is controllable. You're not sure this lady really knows what she did or how she did it. But you have a temporary portal to the Fortress of Forlorn Hope. I wouldn't suggest you try and like use it as a permanent, like everybody just come through whatever you want. But I think basically what we'll say is like once a day you can activate the portal for like, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Great.
And it's not stable enough that if people line up for 10 minutes, they can just like jump through. But you can definitely get messages through. And like, if you want people to come over, you can indicate to them that you want them to travel. They just can't portal jump yet.
Yeah. We'll make that indication. And I think Butthole also read a quick message that's basically just like, figure out how to hook the real Raven Gate to this. We have a temporary shitty solution, but you guys have access to sending notes to Alan and Morden Kanan and all those assholes get them on this. And then he'll like drop that through and then just like thaumaturgy fireworks and slamming doors until he sees someone come to get his letter with his update of like who needs to come through and what's going on.
And immediately, as soon as that happens, the door flies open. And of course, the one person who would always keep an ear out for Butthole returning bursts into the room. Bucky, what do you say as you see this fireworks display?
Mr. Butthole, it's you! This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser. And our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, Jahzzar, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time. Christopher Little, Sue One, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn 1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Nithrian, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Diophasis, Loki Burrito, Squishy Werewolf, Remy, Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.